G'day. I'm Craig Bates, President and Managing Director of TQCSI and grandfather of Connor Bates. This message is to our 28 regional offices throughout the world who employ about 150 staff, to our 500 TQCSI auditors who audit in 40 plus countries, and to our thousands of clients who now have between them more than 10,000 certificates worldwide. We live in a unique and tumultuous time, and that is at the top of our mind as we are working through these problems. Each country has reacted differently to Covid-19. For instance, in China, there's been a total shutdown in some regions, and our office in Shanghai, TQCSI China, is working from home and has been for very many weeks. Fortunately, there are signs that China is now coming through the end of it. Other countries like Australia has taken a different approach with a limited shutdown to maintain employment, remaining at work but shutting venues where people can congregate like Bondi Beach and our pubs and clubs. It's a slower approach, but both of these approaches are designed to allow medical facilities to handle the load by flattening the curve of cases. Regrettably though, the likes of Spain, Italy and the USA have reacted way too late and are now paying the price in terms of unnecessary deaths. There is a positive sign coming out of this COVID-19 crisis, and that is that it's not having as much of an effect as we thought it might on our children, thank God. And we're better off than when the Spanish flu killed 50 million people nearly a century ago. Why is that? Well, obviously our medicine has improved significantly. But it's more basic than that. We've learned about basic hygiene, washing our hands, social distancing, isolation, and thorough cleaning of touch surfaces. A classic example is AssetLink, an Australian company based in Sydney, which I've been auditing in the last couple of days. They're effectively a cleaning company, and they have 2,600 cleaners throughout Australia, cleaning shopping centres and airports, the highest risk you would think. And their work has been increased, obviously, in the last few weeks and months. Yet, even with that higher workload and that large number of cleaners, there has not been one case of COVID-19 infection. Each of our regional offices are different, but our practices in Australia are trying to protect our people. Here at Quality House, our head office, we protect our staff through enforcing the social distancing, enforcing personal hygiene, extra cleaning regimes, limiting visitors, cancelling courses, and also rotating our workers to work from home so that we are proving that we are capable of doing that should we be shut down. Our auditors, well, they don't travel interstate or internationally anymore. They have to confirm their health before each audit, and now many of them are starting to audit remotely. Our clients are assured of our auditors' health and asked to confirm the health of their premises before each audit. And now many of them are moving to remote auditing, particularly if their travel restrictions are in place. So this remote auditing, what is it? It means that we're auditing remotely using information and communication techniques. TQCSI is now accredited to IAF mandatory document number 4. Normally, remote auditing is limited to a percentage of the audit, not the full audit. But in these extremist times of COVID-19, we are allowed to do a full audit remotely for most programs. But remote auditing is not the panacea, because the client in most cases has to be at work to provide the information. So head office also is able to postpone audits for up to about 6 months. But the problem with that is if we postpone everyone's audit, there's a backlog of audits, which means in the 3rd or 4th quarter, we'll have too many audits and not enough auditors. So some sort of combination of remote auditing and postponing audits is what we're trying to achieve. However, our greatest concern of this whole COVID-19 crisis is the mental health of our staff and our auditors. We appreciate that being in isolation can cause problems. And so what we are trying to do is make our people communicate as much as they can. Our auditors, for instance, have a dedicated team in Microsoft Teams so they can communicate to us and we can communicate to them. And maybe that will keep them a little bit entertained as we go through this problem. TQCSI is now the largest JASANS accredited certification body in the world. But our focus is not being the biggest, it's being the most professional. We want our processes and our auditors to be the best. And our aim is to maintain our client certification and our auditors' livelihood through this crisis. That's what we're all working for. Well, I'm sure we will come through this. It might take some patience and some resilience, but we will come through it. So my message to you is stay safe.